Hi guys, welcome to the Politics Podcast. Thank you for listening. If you're online, thank you for joining me here on YouTube and watching, and thank you for subscribing to the channel if you have. If you're new to the channel, my name is Amanda Gallagher and I bring you all the latest news from X that you won't see on RTE or on your mainstream media, your CNN or your BBC or your Sky News, because X is the #1 news site in the world, and it's the place where you get all the up-to-date, truthful, fantastic news shared by ordinary people for ordinary people. So that is the idea of this channel, and that's what I do every week. And this week I am going to talk about free speech, particularly free speech in Ireland, which is under attack. Two things have happened this week in our political sphere here in Ireland, which really should open your eyes. It's opened my eyes. I thought I knew it all, but until I saw this week, it was just crazy. And the first thing is what opened my eyes was a Senator Gerard Craughwell, who is, as far as I know, a background in the Defence Forces, and he has been a senator for many years. And you think he would have a bit more courage than what went on. Anyway, it all relates to Maria Steen, who is a hopeful presidential candidate here in Ireland. And at the time of recording this, she needed another few, she needs another few political TDs or senators or councillors to nominate her to even get on the ballot. So this isn't even about the election now. This is just to get her name on the ballot paper. So she needs politicians to nominate her. So there is a fan account of hers on X, and this person put up a list of TDs and senators, their email addresses and their photos. It was a very simple post, an effective post. And this man or woman, I don't know who it is, this account asked the people on X to please, if you get a chance, to contact, very respectfully, by the way, just a simple contact to ask them would they consider Maria Steen. Now, this senator got his knickers in a twist of sorts, and he grabbed the post and said how awful the intimidation of politicians has got in Ireland. And when you stop and look and say, what intimidation? He is saying that emailing your politicians with a photo beside them of the politician, which, by the way, you can find quite easily on Google, on their own websites, or the party they're in, or if they're independent, they have their own website, they have their own information. If you type in any politician's name in Ireland, you shall get their photo. And they have no problem putting their photos up at election time when they're begging for the vote and when they're promising all these broken promises. They have zero problem, Senator, if you ever see this. It's not intimidation. It's unbelievable that you actually said the words intimidation. It's unbelievable that ordinary people now cannot contact their local TD or senator or councillor for fear of saying that they're intimidating them. This was a mask slip moment for us in Ireland into the minds of these politicians. If they think that contacting them, they are public representatives, their only job is to represent the public. If they think that by simply having their photo and their email address and a simple respectful request to email them to request that Maria Steen gets on the ballot paper is intimidation, well, then we have news for them. They need to go and look at a dictionary of what the definition of intimidation was. So that was him. That opened my eyes very wide, that he would use the words intimidation when there was no intimidation, no vulgar language, no nothing. Just a simple request with an email address and their photo, as if nobody knows what these people look like. They're all over the place at election time. They've no problem having giant billboards of themselves. Senator, that was not intimidation. It's unbelievable that you would even attempt to write the words intimidation above a post that's only asking to email people. So that was, as I said, a mask slip moment into the minds of these politicians. The next day, the Dail resumed, and the Dail is our political house here in Ireland, if you don't know. And our politicians have had a very lengthy summer recess, summer break, and they get well paid. And they get well paid right through the summer recess to relax, to not answer queries and not answer questions. And they had a lovely holiday. So they were all back to work in their shiny shoes and their new outfits. And what do you think the first item on the agenda was, or the first item that was raised? by Verona Murphy, supposedly independent of all these parties. Verona Murphy did a speech basically at the beginning of the Dail term. And it wasn't a speech about uncontrolled immigration and all the chaos it's causing. No, it wasn't a speech about open borders, or it wasn't a speech about all the homelessness and the housing crisis and the lack of housing, or the National Children's Hospital scandal that's still not open, that it's like a black hole of taxpayers' money gone into, or the scoliosis scandal, the little boy who died, and it was all the talk of the summer asking Simon Harris to resign, his parents. He died, all his little life years of suffering because he could not get the scoliosis surgery he needed. He was even taken off the list. What were any of these issues, do you think, the most pressing for our politicians? Or I saw yesterday a newspaper article where the elderly in Ireland are terrified that the electricity company is going to cut them off because they cannot pay the bill. They're in arrears because the cost of living has gone sky high. The cost of shopping is increasing every single week, and it's not stopping. It's rising. And these poor elderly people have to walk by their local IPAS centre and see the lights all lit up in the middle of the day because there is no such worries within that IPAS centre of electricity bills or cost of living, where they get the free food, where they're able to work and not pay a contribution. There is no such worries. But the elderly couple in Ireland who have served their whole lives into the economy of Ireland are forgotten. Was that what Verona Murphy, any of those items, could Verona Murphy have stood up and said at the very, very first minute of the Dáil resuming after the whole summer? No. Guess what it was? It was an attack on free speech and an attack on social media companies. Social media companies, I presume she is speaking mainly about X there, because X is the one they are after. X, which is owned by Elon Musk, is the one that is the number one place to go for the up and coming, real, truthful news by the people, for the people. So this is what she said. I'm going to play it for you now, and I want you to listen out. I will highlight it as we're going through it, but I will highlight the second where she mentions also the word that Senator Crockwell mentioned the day before, intimidation. She mentions that. She says that our politicians are all getting intimidated. And now we know, now you can reflect on her speech in the light of Senator Crockwell's post about intimidation. We know what they mean by intimidation now. So I'm going to play that for you and listen out for the words.
There's questions. I'd like to make a short statement. In recent times, we have witnessed an alarming rise in the serious threats and online abuse directed at a significant number of members of the Houses of the Oireachtas, of all parties and none, a phenomenon that can no longer be ignored. Not alone does it affect us as members, but also a significant percentage of our population. This abuse often emanates from unverified profiles on various online platforms which facilitate unsavoury discourse and foster unhealthy narratives that bear little resemblance to fact or reality. In my capacity as Count Corla, I have a duty to safeguard both this Assembly, its members and the wider public interest. This chamber must remain a secure environment for the conduct of parliamentary business. In addition to my concern for current members, I am concerned that this environment may deter decent people from entering public life. If we allow a culture of fear and intimidation to take root, we risk losing the very essence of democratic representation. It is incumbent upon us all to collectively defend the integrity of political debate and cultivate an environment that encourages participation without fear or reprisal. We must create a space where diverse views can be expressed safely and openly. Whilst the report commissioned from the Task Force of Safe Participation in Public Life 2024 identified pertinent issues, in my view, it now needs to be supplemented by concrete legislative proposals. The experiences of our counterparts in the UK, US and other democratic jurisdictions serve as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of inaction. We are not insulated from this global trend, and in the words of Barack Obama, our democracy is threatened when we take it for granted. I am therefore requesting a meeting with all party and group leaders with a view to formulating an appropriate consensus response to deal with this issue. Our constitutional obligations require us to protect our people from unjust attack, and we have a collective responsibility to uphold these principles. The challenges posed by social media platforms demand our immediate and cross-party attention. We must collaborate to protect the integrity of our political discourse, a commitment to discourse that is rigorous yet fair, impassioned yet principled, and consistently respectful is essential. As we embark on this term, I urge all members to reflect on the tone and tenor of deliberations. Thank you, members. And just before...
There you go. I'm sorry, Verona Murphy, if you ever see this video. That was the biggest load of crap I have ever heard. Barack Obama, did he say that? No, democracy is threatened when you take away free speech, Verona. I would have chosen someone better than Barack Obama to quote as well if I were you. Listen, you get paid €263,000 per year, and that's the crap you came up with. Utter crap. And you use the word intimidation. And we know what you mean by intimidation now. No one's allowed to ask you guys anything. No one's allowed to debate. No one's allowed to question. Especially about the no subjects of immigration. Nobody is allowed to ask ye what ye are doing with the taxpayers' money. From one election to the next, we're not allowed. When it comes time for election, there will be answers and debates, but you won't let ordinary people come on the debates. You will not answer anything. It's crazy. And now she speaks about social media companies, anonymous accounts, listen, and public discourse. She says unhealthy public discourse. I'm saying there's no discourse. I see on X, the whole lot of ye put up posts and you turn comments off, which means there can be no discourse. Nobody can comment. Nobody can question. So you put it up, you get abysmal likes. You might get 50,000 views and 3 likes. That is absolutely ratioed out the door. You have been ratioed out the door. And we know what she mean by intimidation now, because Senator Crockwell has confirmed what she mean by intimidation. Intimidation equals questions. Don't ask us questions. That's what you think intimidation is. It's absolutely revolting. And if social media didn't exist, if this was 1995, and the same things were going on with mass immigration and all the scandals, do ye not think there would be a crowd outside your constituency offices? A crowd with placards and loudspeakers. Whatever we had in 1995, that's the method the ordinary person would use. We just so happen to have social media now. That just so happens to be the era we are in. You're all into big tech, big technology. It's not the social media sites that are the issue. It's you guys. If this was 1995, there would be crowds of people with placards and loudspeakers outside your constituency offices, and they would not leave until they got the answers. As a matter of fact, you're probably better off that it's social media that you have the issue with, that people can just post something. But that doesn't change the fact that it's not intimidation. And that doesn't change the fact that you guys are political representatives and you must answer the public. End of story. If you didn't know that when you signed up to be politicians, well, then there's no hope for ye. But that is the actual truth. That's the story. And she says then that this unhealthy discourse will deter decent people from getting into politics, while at the same time, during the same day, during the same week, they are actually deterring decent people from getting into politics by blocking Maria Steen from getting on the ballot paper. These guys are nothing but hypocrites. That's all ye are. I'm sorry, but that's all ye are. And you're coming after free speech, and you will not be allowed, because it's not the social media's the social media company's fault. It's not Elon Musk's fault. In fact, only for Elon Musk, we wouldn't know half the crap that's going on. So Verona Murphy, with your €263,000 per year paycheck, go back to the drawing board. The next day you're in the Dail, stand up and say, I made a mistake on that day. Our first pressing issue is actually not ordinary people asking us questions and trying to shut them down. Our first pressing issue is uncontrolled immigration, the chaos it's causing, or our first pressing issue is the scoliosis scandal and the children still suffering in pain, or the old people scared of their ESB getting cut off because they can't afford the bill. That would be your first pressing issues, guys, not ordinary people seeking answers to where their money is gone and to what the heck is happening, changing the fabric and demographics of our country before our very eyes. It's like it's in watching it in slow motion, and ye are doing it, and you don't want to answer to why you're doing it. If ye want uncontrolled mass immigration, and it looks like you want that because you're letting it happen, well, then you must answer to the queries about it and the questions about it and the public. There's no other way out of it. Shutting social media down, banning X from Ireland, it's not going to stop it. It's not going to stop people wanting the answers, because ye have changed the whole country. And ye want to do it without people questioning you. Mask slipped this week with Senator Crockwell, because what Senator Crockwell called intimidation, which is, I presume, all his colleagues, all the senators, all the TDs and all the councillors talk among each other, and that is what they think intimidation is, and that is the red flag, and that is what I want you guys to share with your family and friends and staff rooms. The post from Senator Crockwell emailing intimidation. Unbelievable. And Verona Murphy in the Dail, and she's not going to let up, by the way, because she was on The Week in Politics. RTE had her on saying the same nonsense. The same nonsense. Drop it, guys. It's not X's fault. It's your fault. But saying that, I got my eyes opened, like I said. Saying that, we have a knight in shining armour. Anyone who is concerned about free speech in Ireland, we have a knight in shining armour. And his name is Patrick Kielty, RTE's very own Patrick Kielty from The Late Late Show. He came to our rescue on Friday night after the week of turmoil, the week of politicians coming after X and coming after social media and coming after ordinary people asking them questions. Patrick Kielty came to our rescue. And I'm going to play it for you now, and I apologise in advance for the vulgar language, because it's unusual for RT to have vulgar language or allow vulgar language on, but I'm going to play you Patrick Kielty on RTE on Friday night, coming to our rescue about free speech. And fear not, everyone, we have a knight in shining armour. Let's listen to Patrick now.
Hey Jimmy, it's Patrick Kielty saying a big hello from Studio 4 of RTE here in Dublin, Ireland, home to The Late Late Show for over 60 years. Now, during that time, there have, of course, been many in power who have wanted our show off air, and yet our bosses have never considered shutting us down. Tonight, we're extending the hand of free speech and friendship to let you know that you're always welcome here. So if you ever need a studio or a desk or an audience or a band, we're here for you. And most importantly of all, Jimmy, this is Ireland, so we can promise that you can say whatever the fuck you want.
This is Ireland, where you can say whatever you want. Phew. Well, someone better tell Verona Murphy. And someone better tell Gerard Craughwell, Senator Craughwell. And someone better tell the Media Commission of Ireland, who don't even know what malinformation is. Somebody better tell them. Patrick Kielty has confirmed that this is Ireland, where you can say whatever the hell you want. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, guys. As I said, we wish Maria Steen well, getting on the ballot paper. Time will tell. Verona Murphy should really think, with her €263,000 a year, what should she really raise in the Dáil? And Senator Craughwell should realise and look in a dictionary as to what the word intimidation actually means. It will not say emailing your local politician. That is not the definition of intimidation. Thank you, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll be back again very soon with all the latest news from X. And keep fighting for free speech, because, not in the words of Barack Obama, in the words of me, democracy dies when free speech dies. Okay, democracy dies when free speech dies. So thank you. See you on the next one, guys. Bye.